Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm working in a new journal, and got lots to show you today. And one thing I always like to do when I get a new journal is go ahead and try to paint the outside. And here lately I've been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I'm going to try to go through as much as I can today. And I've got some little books, some little journals, and I hope I don't forget to show you all that. And I've redone my craft room in the meantime, and done a whole bunch of things here lately, but I always like to cover these journals, spruce up the outside as well as the inside. And while this is drying, we can go over a few other things. And this is just Art Smith medium magenta, but it was a coat of red before, just to give it a deeper color. And you know, if you like it deeper than that, go over it 2 or 3 more times, or either mix the two together to give you that really rich color. And while that's drying, I'll show you this little, I like to call it like a purse journal, but I'm using mixed media paper, watercolor mixed media, so it's heavier weighted. Plus I got two sheets stuck together, and I painted them probably 2 or 3 times to get that texture. And you have to be careful once you you know, start bending it. It is kind of it will break apart. So after I put all the paint on it, I went back and Mod Podged both sides really good with maybe a couple coats. I put my little thing inside here, a little pocket. And I've had a lot of these, I'll have to get my little album book out, but a lot of these flowers that I've made and stuff, and stuck in a big journal. Hope I've got you all. Let's see if I can move you down a little bit. Maybe this is better. And I took a bunch of little crazy things I've just made over the years and stuck in a box, saying, you know, when am I ever going to use this? And I have to get my book, and that's a whole nother video, but I'll have to get that book out here in a minute and show you all. Gone through, made some flowers, and you know, my inspiration is always Pinterest. I stuck this little slider thing on here, like a belly band. Some pages are through, some not as through as others. I like to try to make things as colorful as I can. And I think a bunch of these, I think I may have started out, I had taken a bunch of these watercolor papers and stuck them in a cookie sheet and just doused them with Kool-Aid. And then, you know, once it got real heavy saturated, which I didn't put a whole lot of water with the Kool-Aid because I wanted it to be as dark as it could be, and then I put them in the oven. I got another one. I started over here. Got this little belly band thing to put on it. Here's another one I made with a basket weave. As you can tell, I saturated it again, but this is with acrylic paint. And then I made the little cuts in it and was weaving the lighter strip through it, but it wasn't enough contrast, so I had some green, darker green paper, so I just cut out a bunch of squares and put on top, because you can tell that's not matching with that. So anyway, and I started making several books to put in here. And I thought, okay, this is going to be the, I think, basket weave flower little journal. Got room just to stick more and more in here. Here's just some, I'll show you that in a minute too, a bunch of scraps. I don't know if you all recall, I took a bunch of my journals apart and just kept the best parts that I like about them and just chucked the rest. You just can't keep, keeping journals that serve you no purpose and that I didn't think was all that great now that I've gotten a little better. See, that's the back side that, since they come out of journals. Still got lots of work to do in this one. You can tell how thick these papers are. I mean, once you put 2 or 3 coats of acrylic, I mean, it's kind of like it's almost a little wallet type texture. Okay, so that's that. Let me show you these. I started some little ATCs, I guess you can call artist trading cards, or either altered playing cards. I think it goes that way. And they're very, very thick use the mixed media paper. Couldn't get it out. And some of these aren't finished because I usually like to go around them in the black Posca marker. No, I've got way too much on my desk for everyone to look at. I think it goes that way. And I just take a bunch of scraps, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. Trying to keep up with what all I was going to show you today. On top of trying to show you all a collage, which I haven't done in a while. I've been mostly into acrylic painting here lately. And here's my Heidi Swap journal that I got, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago at Joann's. And I just thought I would fill it with all of my things that I've been putting on my little cards. A bunch of stickers. Some things I've made. And here's a bunch of my other stickers from Dollar Tree. Got quite a few that I haven't used. And I just sit around at night, maybe painting some things to maybe stick in future collage books. And I thought I would have this more organized, but there's not any way to do it. It would take too long for me to. I'd have to have so many pages ready to go. Over here is more birds and just squares. More flowers. Some watercolor fruit and vegetables. I think I showed you all this actually before. Carrots, button mushrooms, beets. Some more little carrots. A knife, a tomato, a lime, orange. Here's some olives. There's a fork. Some more. Here's plants. Struggling here. I want you to see my little plants though. Here's a pot to put a plant in. More stickers. Here's peel and stick ferns and stuff. Dried flowers, which I think I showed you all that before. Guess I'll go ahead and try to take this out for you guys. I like this one. Some more flowers over here. Over on this side is mushrooms. Just ready to go. More stickers. These probably come from Dollar Tree. And I've had these for a while. Probably you all have some of these as well. It's probably been a few years back. Oops. Trying to do some vases. My fishies. And I do have a bulletin board up in my room also that I use a lot of this stuff on my bulletin board from time to time. All my little frames. Some more, I don't know what you call these, poppies or something. Okay, so I'm back to my journal, and it seems to be almost dry. So I like to take the thing that come with it, and if I like it good enough, and then I cut it up. And that's why I put this in pink. I thought I would just cut strips and put it all over the thing. I thought that would make a really nice cover. Maybe even when, maybe after it gets done, maybe I'll outline it. I like to put a whole lot of Mod Podge because, you know, it is acrylic and this is plastic that you're trying to glue down to it. Just stick them on the best way you can. Might have to get your fingers a little gluey. And that's not tacky glue in that bottle, actually, that's Mod Podge. Okay, and I have some little dots that I made. I think I'll stick a few of those on. Trying to get maybe the ones that are more in color with the book. Guess it'd be cute if I had purple dots. It's going to kind of look like a hot mess until the glue dries. Like I said, that there's these dilutions things they put around the thing are kind of plasticky. I guess they'll stay there. Trying to take some glue from there. In a minute, I'm going to rub on those so the glue won't be so lumpy when it dries. And you know, you don't want a big heaping thing of glue. See, I think I'll take this little paper towel that I used the other day. Trying not to hold it there too long. It'll pull my whole thing up. Just trying to get excess off because the rest will dry clear anyway. It's Mod Podge. And you know what? I don't even think I'm going to wait on this to fully dry. I'm going to go ahead and just go over the whole thing with Mod Podge like I normally do. And since this right here is Mod Podge, give me a foamy brush here. I usually wait for this to dry, but then I'm not on camera either when I do that. That way it'll probably help. These others where they won't pop off. Kind of looks good, I think, with that on it. I thought about getting a little bottle of white acrylic paint because there's several paintings I've done that too, and I thought, that looks good like that with the white on it. Okay, you. I'd take this a good maybe hour to dry. Okay guys, and so I think it's finally dried out, and I like the way it turned out. Sorry, and then on the inside, I like to, you know, I'm always cutting the thing in half. And then all I did was cut the flap off up there and just stuck it back on for aesthetics. It doesn't work anymore, of course, but at least the flap does. And I always like to start my journals by making a tag, and these tags are made out of, you know, when I took my journals apart, I just cut off the parts that I did like, and I just threw them all in a big basket and make tags with them. That way it always, when I open my journal, always inspires me to do colorful things. It just makes me happy. And so I started the journal the other day. Actually, I had downloaded Quirky People off of Etsy. And, well, this is, of course, 8 by 10, but I didn't want 8 by 10. And so I have 2 printers. And when I printed one of my other printers, I noticed I hadn't put, you know, the right kind of ink in it. Well, this one kind of, you can see black and white. And then on my other printer, I haven't figured out what's wrong with it yet, but I have added all ink, cleaned my print heads, but it turned out all green. But I thought, you know, that's pretty cool once I got to thinking about it. And so you can look it up, Quirky People on Etsy. And so I did a couple pages. I can find the first one. I think she's really cool. And for my background, I, you know, took the Dilution spray paints. But, you know, I've mixed them over the years, so I really can't tell you what, you know, it's just the normal blue, the normal orange or red, and then, you know, I mixed them together. Plus, I put alcohol with them to thin them down a little bit after they gotten, you know, kind of old. I love this one. I think here's the page we're going to be working on today. Here's another one. Here's with the stained spray. Let's see, I believe that one's called Spray Stain Walnut Distressed. And the rest of them I've even put in, you know, these little bottles that you get from, you know, Bath and Body Works. And they work pretty good too. I mix them up and, you know, mix several colors. And then I buy the spray inks as well. And, you know, I'll even dump the Ranger spray inks in those bottles over there to get a color I want. So don't forget about your spray inks. It's probably, you know, getting dried up as well. And, you know, it has like a deeper orange, sunset orange. You know, if you mix, you know, mix your orange and yellows together, your green and yellows, you get pretty colors. Here's one, you know, with the regular spray and the glitter. It's not glitter, but what's it called? The shimmer. I forget, shimmer dilution sprays. And I kind of just, when I went with the shimmer, you know, started running, but I didn't touch it at all. I just let it dry on its own. And that's how I got that effect. And, you know, if it wants to run, I just let it run. I guess this was one that I had made from mixing, you know, the red with maybe some alcohol. But I'm going to try to remember this one, how I put it, how I had it laid out. Okay, and before we get started on this particular collage, I just want to show you that these little books that I used to have a while back, these little paper pads that you get from, I think maybe Amazon. I think it's maybe where I got them. I've had them a while now. I just, for this particular video, it's just cutting a lot of pictures out of these. Of course, you always say to yourself, when am I going to use all of these? Hard to show you everything. Okay. So I got my little cheat sheet over here so I can try to remember what all I had to put down. I feel like my book's already trying to come apart. I guess if you soak it enough in, I think I'm gonna have to get out the glue. Because these are pretty thick. I probably use watercolor paper. And that way, you know, it won't, if you put a lot of glue on it, it won't wrinkle up. But there's all sorts of weights of watercolor paper, so I just always buy the watercolor paper because I not only sketch at night, I might watercolor over top of my sketches. And here's the, since this is paper, out of the little book. Okay, I think I had this up here. I like to try to go around the edges, and you know, if you scrape it, it should go up under the edges. They go really nicely with the purple. I can remember how this goes. Even those out of that little thing, I think, go nicely with that. Put my little quirky person down. See, I like that green tint. Let me know in the comments, do you like the green tint better than the original? So I may just, you know, not all is lost for us collagers. You can always use the printer that doesn't print as well for stuff like this. And I think I'll put this up here. Sort of trying to still get that Tisha Moore effect like thing going on. Let's see if I can put some of this down. Just found this in the in my scrap box. I guess this come from, I'd say Dollar Tree. Just for some more background noise. Then I always like to pump my marker a little bit. Let's go ahead and put some of this green. Kind of like to outline my pictures. Some of you may want to use your washi tape. Wonder if there's anything else I need to go around, or I think that's still wet right there a little bit. Let's see if we go around this, see what this will do. Like I said, it's a little bit wet. But anyway, I think I like how it turned out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I've inspired you. And as always, happy crafting, and see you tomorrow.